Spring-like weather eased the first highlight of Venice's last Carnival week. Many more people wearing masks, however, are expected this weekend. Some of Italy's best-known comic actors are also giving special shows for these final days of the Carnival.
Well, you know, most students are no strangers to computers. They're using them for everything from studying to playing games.
Now this explosive technology has a new purpose: to forge ties between French and English-speaking students in Canada.
We depend greatly on modern communication to bring us together.
A sentiment read out loud in a Hull classroom. But the words belong to Deputy Prime Minister Sheila Copps, who was in Winnipeg helping launch YouthLink.
This project is about reaching out. It's about pioneering. It's about taking a glimpse into the promise of a new world where kilometers won't separate us. They'll bring us together.
The internet allowed her speech to be almost instantaneously relayed to students at École Secondaire de Lille in Hull. It's part of the Canada Take It to Heart initiative.
It forges links that very often last for a lifetime, and it shows people that our culture extends all across the country.
Among young Canadians, culture can be very basic.
I want to know if they, they do the same activities as us, and if they have like the same school hours and the same subjects, and about that.
YouthLink opens up all kinds of opportunities. Patrick Ritchie in Hull got to ask Sheila Copps in Winnipeg what she thought of today's launch. Seconds later, the reply.
I think it is wonderful that we have the possibility to talk together and that we can learn to know each other better.
Is this your first time talking to a politician?
Yes.
The politicians have high hopes for YouthLink. Now it's up to young Canadians to embrace it.
It helps us communicate without having to send letters and everything, and it just brings us closer together.
And coming up, ATV's primetime lineup and a last look at weather for you.
Plus, we have some breaking news from the Western Inquiry. Details are coming up right after this break. For the development of the Western Inquiry, the inquiry into the Western mine explosion will not be moving to Halifax next week after all. Commissioner Peter Richard, a Supreme Court judge, says he has changed his mind and will now continue the hearings in Stellarton near the site of that 1992 explosion that killed 26 miners.
Judge Richard says it's in the best interests of everyone concerned, especially victims' families. The final phase of the inquiry's hearings involving government inspectors and politicians will be rescheduled for the beginning of March in Stellarton.
We'll have complete reaction right here tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Taking our last look at the weather, today's wild storm will be moving out of the area overnight. The near record mild temperatures reported in some communities are going to be replaced by a much colder than normal temperatures for the next couple of days. And as that colder air moves in tonight, any rain will be changing briefly to snow before ending.
So any driving later tonight just about anywhere could be very treacherous. Please be careful. Tomorrow, most of the region can expect some sunny breaks, but as well, there will be a few flurries out there. Temperatures will be quite a bit colder than today's, also made to feel colder by a rather strong west to northwest wind. And at the start of the week, lots of sunshine, but quite cold, particularly on Monday. And that's it for the weather. We tried anyway, folks. We'll be back pretty soon. Let's take a look at ATV's primetime lineup for you tonight, right after our show. 7 o'clock, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. 8 p.m., Star Trek, Voyager. Moving on to 9 o'clock, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. And 10 o'clock, Canadian Figure Skating Championships, Parade of Championships.
Tomorrow on the ATV Evening News, another maritime community is attempting to run exotic dancers out of town. It's an issue that always stirs up quite a fuss. We'll uncover the facts right here on the ATV Evening News at 6 o'clock. Just want to make a quick note that people from Carroll's Corner just phoned in a few minutes ago and told us that they had 104 millimeters of rain. Amazing. More news tonight at 12:30. I'll be in.
See you tomorrow at 6. Good night.
Good night.